Hey you guys, it's your girl Taisha P back at you again with another podcast style video for Trusted Transformation. This is a blog where I share my life, my energy, my stories with you all about how every day is an opportunity for evolution. And today, what's on my heart to talk about is learning to flow with your energy. And I've been talking about energy a lot, but energy is really, for one, what the world thrives on. You know, we need energy when we wake up in the morning to take action, whether that be to shower, wash our face, brush our teeth, get ready to go to work, or to run errands, to cook, to clean. That all comes from just any action we take, really. It needs to tap into an energy source. But even beyond that, we need energy for things to run. We need energy for things to be efficient. We need energy for things to literally allow us to take just about any step in life, because when you're dormant, you're not doing anything. Or when things are dormant, nothing has happened. Which is why, you know, I look back and see that vid-19, if you know what I'm trying to say. The energy, I think, was so stuck then. And that's what a big part of why the world was so on edge, because we really had to finally sit down for 5 seconds, and it was like you really saw how much energy put in daily. When you take that away from the world, how much it will change. And it's just very interesting to see. But tying it all in to make sense of why I'm talking about energy is that energy is infused into everything you do, and having this awareness will make you very keen on making sure that when you do use your energy for anything, that you're putting it to use in a way that ultimately serves your highest good and the highest good of the world. So many people have a boatload of energy that they waste their focus on, maybe arguing with people, sitting down on important stuff that they want to get done, wallowing in their misery, crying and complaining about how this person ain't ish and that person ain't that. And all in all, just using good, valuable energy for things that don't serve you, things that aren't going to push the needle forward in your life. And as a creative, I know for me, my energy is so potent, but also so valuable, because I'll be real with you, I love my job. I work as a content strategist. My official title is an audience development specialist, but essentially as a content strategist or an audience development specialist, I help brands, businesses, companies establish their online platform. How do they want to present themselves? And I teach them the strategic way to market themselves to their audience. And while I love what I do on a day-to-day basis, it takes a lot of energy, because I'm sitting, and I know some people say, you're sitting. Hold on. I'm sitting in front of the computer every day for just about 8 hours. And it's fun, but it also is kind of like a lot of stuck energy there, where I'm just sitting for hours and hours and hours at a time, and I have these tasks to get done. And by the time I want to work on my own business or my own dreams and goals and aspirations, the energy is used. That's why I'm learning different ways and techniques to combat that. And I don't want to say push through, but at least now, for now, circumvent how I think and feel about it so that I could still get the work done, because I understand that there is a job to be done. Whether that be to present myself to the people that I now want to reach, like you guys that I'm talking to, or just in general build my overall dream life. Because for me, it's bigger than just having a lot of money. It's bigger than just getting tangible material things like car, house, this, that, clothes. I want to be able to inspire people in a way that changes lives and that allows other people just like me to grow, to put themselves out there, to step into their power as their most authentic, especially creative self, and birth new things into the world. That this new earth that is being created right now out of so much destruction, that the energy, we're going to tie it back in, gets repurposed now into creating something that is for the greater good of the world at large. And I know that requires, like I said, energy, because I'm not going to get too deep into my personal aspirations. Maybe one day I'll share them because they're big and plenty. But ultimately, that is what it is. And I know that's something that's going to require hella energy. I know that's something that is not going to just snap a finger, do your step, and then I'm going to, turn around and be rich. Like, it's just not going to work like that. I mean, it could, but I'd rather not. So that's why I'm like, whew, I gotta be aware of how I use my energy now. Being honest, growing up, and not only just growing up, just throughout my life, because now I'm a young woman and I am, slowly but surely easing my way into just full on grown woman. I have used my energy for so much nonsense. It ain't funny. I have wasted my own time, and it has nothing to do with anybody else. Like, I'm gonna be real, there are days where I just sat in bed and was on my phone. I don't know if anybody relates to that. But I was just on my phone scrolling, especially if I had a day off. What? Sitting down and chilling. And then outside of that, if it wasn't that I was doing, I was on the phone talking to loved ones. I'm not going to act like, they're randoms or anything like that, because I don't want to be disrespectful. But talking to people that, while I do love them and I know they mean well, and I obviously mean well for them, and it's all love and all good, realistically speaking, the needle wasn't getting pushed forward. I don't know if they were using me as a distraction, or I was using them as a distraction, or it was just mutual distracted energies. I don't know, but either way it goes, there were points in time where I'm just sitting on the phone, running my mouth, hours and hours and hours. And I know, I'm like, damn, I did say today's my day off and I wanted to get this, that, and that done. And then this is what I ended up doing. And then outside of that, even maybe it was me going out and, turning up when I'm supposed to be working on my business and working on my brand. And the same money that I'm spending out at the spot, I could be using it to invest into my business. And that's why nowadays, even I've always been the type that's okay with investing in myself, but I will definitely 1,000% buy a course or find some type of, tool that I need, or get equipment faster than I sit here and necessarily jump up and going out. And if I do go out, I'm trying to make it be that I already have in my head, this is the budget, because I'm understanding now that energy wise, I have to protect myself. I cannot just sit here and have these big grandiose dreams and grandiose ideas, but I'm sitting down on them because I'm afraid of the responsibility that might be required, or I'm afraid of, putting in so much energy and not getting instant returns, because then I'm not doing it with the right heart. I need to make sure that everything I do comes from a place of making sure that any and everything I put my energy into, I'm not allowing myself to get distracted from my own self, because ultimately I only control me. I don't control anything or anyone outside of myself. And having that realization is empowering. Having that realization allows you to say to yourself, you don't have to put anything on anyone. When you know you have a mission, it is imperative that you stick to the plan. One of my favorite songs in the whole world, like motivation on 10, is Voices in My Head, Stick to the Plan by Big Sean. And if you are a person that needs motivation, I swear to you, listen to that song every day. It will change your life. Listen to that song every day. Like, just put it in your playlist. He literally says in the song, voices in my head saying I could do better. Voices in my head saying that I knew better. And I used to listen to that song, and I would be so amped and so motivated. And I stopped, not because of anything, but you just shuffle things out, shuffle things in. But I look back and I think about how energized I was when I did actually use that song as a motivation, and I was really taking action and really doing what I had to do, because I was having that understanding. Because he talks about energy in the song, and Big Sean is a very spiritual rapper. If you really listen to him, he's very spiritual. He understands how energy has affected his goals and aspirations and dreams and manifestations, and how to utilize energy to your advantage. Now, somebody might ask, how do you utilize energy to your advantage? Do what works for you. And I know that's easier said than done, but this is where now reflection and self-awareness comes into play. You have to learn to reflect on what comes easily and naturally to you that also works for your highest good. I know one thing for me. My strategy that especially has been working right now is just do it. On some Nike-ish, for real. Like, just do it. I know that I thrive when I don't question it. Like, I have an intention and I don't question what it is I want to do. When I sit there and get into contemplation mode and I say to myself, do I want to take action? Do I not want to take action? Should I? Should I not? That's when the energy that I was about to go use to do that thing now comes and gets converted into potential energy. I'm taking out of science, where it's now just being harbored and now being used as a way to overthink and putting me in this freeze mode. And I start questioning everything and how am I going to figure this out? And if you're a perfectionist like me, one of our biggest downfalls is getting into the planning phase and then staying there. So many of us are just planners to the T. We gotta plan how we gonna say it, plan where we gonna go, plan how we gonna do, plan every single element, plan the socks that we gonna wear when we get there. Like, it's just like, stop. Sometimes you just need to do it and then fix it. Do it, then fix. Do it, then fix. As opposed to saying, let me plan, get the plan perfected, then you're like, wait, I'm not at this level to be planning to this degree where this is so immaculate and everything like that, and I'm not immaculate yet, and then you don't take action. Whereas you have the idea, that potential energy right there, get it kinetic as soon as possible. And kinetic meaning movement. Just go. Once you get a good idea, just go. Fix it later. Stop worrying about being 1,000% ready, because you never will be. And besides that, there's always room for improvement. And when you stop thinking that you're 100% perfect, you will give yourself grace, and you will allow yourself to flow with the natural rhythms of your energy, and everything will just fall into place as you continue to unfold the path while you just let yourself live. It will be aligned right in front of you. You don't gotta be on this, it has to be 1,000%, it has to be this, it has to be that, because when you get into that mode, you don't do anything. That is the worst thing you could do to yourself when you're trying to get something done. That is the worst thing you could do. And when you want to really make dramatic shifts in your life, and when I say dramatic shifts, like you have a goal that you're really trying to by a certain time period. Let's say, all right, next year I want to be in my own place. That already means that the year before then, you got to start saving. And that don't mean you got to save $1,000 every day. Baby steps. If you could save $100 to whatever, like, I don't know, whatever the budget is. Or maybe if you want to, well, let me stay with that example. You know, whatever the budget is. Then, for instance, start applying to, you know, if you want to do an apartment, start applying to apartments. Start reaching out, start inquiring, start researching. Start taking notes. What do you actually want in this apartment? What do you want the style to look like? What area do you want to live in? What actually appeals to you? These are things where you're naturally going to allow yourself, even though you might not be taking action in the sense of some dramatic shift like moving in the next day, they slowly but surely will unlock the path as you're meant to see it, as opposed to trying to do it in the reverse of making sure you have everything all together and then you don't do anything. And you know this is catered to creatives, so I don't want to get too much into the apartment analogy too much, but think of it from a creative standpoint. Like myself, I'll be honest, I got locked into the creative jail, if you will, because I was trying to plan everything down to the T, because I knew there were some ideas and goals and a bunch of things that I wanted to get done, but I knew I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm working right now. You see, like, I'm really, this is real raw. I'm not even editing. It is what it is. I'm working as I'm talking to y'all. Sometimes I know somebody's gonna be like, why do I always hear typing in the back when Taisha's on her podcast style videos? Because I'm working. Because we multitasking over here. That's how real it is right now. That's how real it is. And I'm sorry if it's a little distracting, but for right now, this is what you gotta do. This is that energy of just let's go. It's that energy of like, let's move. I'm gonna wait for perfection later. I'm gonna wait for the perfect setup later. Right now we just moving. But why am I going off? Yeah, like, what was I saying? Because I started chatting and lost myself. Damn. How I start chatting and just lose myself like that. Anywho, I'm gonna just pick it up from what I can gather and make sense of. But yeah, I was stuck in the standstill of just, all right, I want my videos to look like this. I want my blog page to look like that. I want this to look like Bop. I want that to look like this. And I want this sound in my background. I want it to be, and all of these things, because I'm watching YouTubers, for instance. I've always loved YouTube since I was a little girl. I grew up on YouTube. Back in the day, I don't know why she just came to my mind. I was on YouTube back in the day when YouTube used to have like Sims music videos. If a real one in the comments could tell me they seen that, I know we locked in. I used to be on the Sims music videos crazy. Yo, what? And, you know, I have my phase 2 of watching the Dormtainments and Spoken Reasons. Oh my God. And the Stephen Joes. Yo, I'm about to take myself to a whole memory lane. Let me stay on point. But my point is, I've been watching YouTube for a minute, so I've been seeing so many different sides of YouTube and how it's evolved over the years that I'm like, damn, I want to be a YouTuber. Like, I want to grow a platform. Well, let me not say I want to be a YouTuber. I want to grow a platform on YouTube because I don't want to be boxed into, oh, you're a YouTuber. No, I'm not. You see, I just said I'm working while I'm talking to y'all. Don't get it twisted. Your girl got skills. But I've been on so many sides of YouTube that, damn, alarm went off. I'm sorry. I've been on so many sides of YouTube. I ain't gonna lie. This episode, you're a real one if you just allow me to flow right now, because I'm all over the place. Y'all hearing sounds, y'all hearing noises, and it's a lot going on. But that background knowledge of being on YouTube so much, and just having grown up and seeing so many people come and go, and the algorithm changes, and who's hot, who's not, and all of that, it kind of had me say to myself, I want to come on here and really make sure that I'm that girl, and I'm perfect on here. And not literally, but more so in the sense of everything has a particular look and a particular sound, so that the audience receiving it can be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And my mindset now is like, why? My mindset now is like, why? Why put myself in this position where I have to be so perfect, where I could just be me and clean it up? I know I'm going to have to clean up the audio at some point. I know I'm going to have to clean up the sound at some point. Audio and sound is the same thing. My mind is clearly on one right now. But I know I'm going to have to improve. Let's just say that. Overall. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not being at level 10, because this is something that I'm really now starting to take seriously, and really now giving myself an opportunity to try with a clean slate and a fresh start and doing something different. I used to think that I wanted to do trusted transformation and speaking in a different way. And at a point in time I did. But now I'm like, let's flow with it. Let's grow with it. Let's just move how spirit, God, life, how energy flows, as opposed to trying to force me to fit in some way and do all of this and do all of that when it ain't my time to be that yet. And it's my time to just be me, and let God work out the rest. And let energy be the fuel right now. And let energy just be that motivation that, okay, you're taking action and we gonna work it out. So all in all, I know this one was a little bit all over the place, partially because I do think I was a little distracted. I just started work within the last hour, and on top of that, this alarm just went off. I put something in the washing machine. That's why it went off, and the timer for it went up. And a lot of energy is being expelled right now, but I'm proud of myself. That's what's really most important, because there's points in times where I was just sitting, and now it's time to go. And if we're gonna do it, we gotta do it. And that's the moral of the story. If you gonna do it, just do it. All right. So that's the message I have for y'all today. Taisha P signing out. Yo, before I even, I'm so mad. I did my sign off and then I came back with something else. It's like these messages is getting longer. I think I need to shut up a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe not. We'll see. Y'all give me feedback, and then we'll see what I do or not do. But not for real. All right. Taisha P signing out. Later, y'all.